Bulavanaka, Fiji, and welcome to Gold FM Speak Your Mind. Now, today we'll be talking about events. That's right, a little bit of a change here on Gold FM Speak Your Mind. One that has already occurred, Project Chochimon fashion show happened last Saturday, but yet to come, a big event right in the capital city, and that's the Suva Marathon. Yes, when you look at me, I'm synonymous with running, so it's quite obvious that I'd be talking about a marathon. But here in studio and joining me is the event manager for Suva Marathon 2015, Rona Sekiguchi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Fideli. Bulavinaka, everyone.
Now, how did you get yourselves involved? You were involved last year. So tell us, you're also a runner like I am.
Hello. Thank you very much, Fideli. If I look like a runner to you, I used to run.
Yes, so when I tell people that, they just look at me like, yeah, you sure? But I'm grateful that that you're here to talk a little bit more about the marathon.
Well, last year I was one of the sponsors. Actually, this year we're the official sponsor. So last year that's how we got involved because they needed someone to help them with designing a few things like for the marathon. So because the Greenhouse Studio, which is my little creative and communication studio, does that, and we also do event management. This year they decided to tender it because they just had so much interest and they wanted it to become a really big event. So they needed help because the club committee members are just all volunteers and they're all working full time elsewhere.
Last year it was quite an event because there was a little bit of a build up to it. Then all of a sudden you saw everyone just turn up to run. Yeah, I mean all these families. It was great to see the families.
Wonderful.
I was actually there, not running, but I was talking to everyone because that's what I do best. But yes, it was a great response last year, and I'm told, well, you're building it to be bigger, even bigger this year.
That's right. I mean, this year we're doing a quite a number of new things. You mentioned that there were a lot of families last year. That's the same thing that we want to do this year. Actually, we want the whole of Suva to be there on August 8th because the idea is we want not just to promote distance running, we want to promote or encourage healthy lifestyle or healthy living. So, by having everyone there, they can get to cheer for the runners, but they can also enjoy healthy snacks. We're going to have stalls, we're going to have family-friendly exercises or activities with the families. We'll have face painting like last year. We're getting we want to work with the youth council perhaps to help us with the children's activities so that if parents would like to go for a walk or bring their kids even, that'll be great. So there's going to be a mini festival event happening while the runners are or even after that. We'll be there until 2 p.m. We've got the Suva Park, my Suva Park, until 2 p.m. So we'll have the FNU band playing, as well as we're working with the police as well, so that they've mentioned to us, the police commissioner has kindly offered that we can get them for free as well, for the event.
Last year they were involved as well. Some of the police officers also participated. And we also had a lot of involvement from various other organizations and companies running as teams. Are we looking at that this year also?
Yes, exactly. This year, we've got a number of categories. So first, we have the full marathon, which is 42.2 kilometers, right? And then we have the half marathon, which is 21.1 kilometers. And then we have the team marathon. So the team marathon, at one part, that's the regular teams, which are the sports teams, families, friends, and that's a different category compared to the corporate marathon, because in the corporate team, you can actually promote your company in the sense of having your banners up there and at the start and finish of the course map, and you can even brand hydration or cheer station, like the water stations, if you want to. And that's how we're talking about the corporate marathon, the teams. So that's why it's a bit more expensive compared to the team marathon. And then there's the fun run, which is the 10 kilometers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's more suited for me.
Yeah. It's for everyone.
Yeah. Now, where is the starting point? And start
and
finish.
Right. The start and finish is going to be at My Suva Park. So it's going to be a loop. The course is going to be a loop around the seawall. And if you go to our website, you can actually download the different course maps 4 different categories. So you can see exactly where you're going to go, what the route is.
Now, just for the benefit of our listeners and viewers, so what is the website address?
It's suvamarathon.org.
Silvermarathon.org. And it's interesting that this year's approach also has some training schedules
Yes.
for the those who wish to run.
Yes, of course, because the Suva Marathon, the event is more than just a marathon. It's about promoting fitness and health and wellness and healthy living. So training is a huge part of joining a marathon, even the fun run, even the 10 kilometers. And we want that those habits, those healthy habits, to be formed in the community. So the committee members who have developed training schedules. So every morning there's someone running in the seawall and encouraging people to join them for their own training. We even have timed runs on Thursday afternoons. So if you want to time yourself for a certain distance, there's always at least someone there, one person that's going to be there to time them.
Okay, you don't have to be part of the club.
You don't have to be part of the club to join this training, the training program. So yeah, that's the.
Which part of the Suva seawall will they be at come Thursday?
The timed runs start from the bowling club.
From the bowling club.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a particular time that they?
Yes, that's right. It's in the afternoon, 5 to 5:30. Someone will be there, and then from then onwards, the runs begin. Yeah.
And of course, they'll be running these routes. There's road closures. You're working closely with the police for that particular
Yes.
e-
Yes.
event.
That's right. Yeah.
August 8th.
Yes.
And how much time? When does it start in the morning?
There's different time starts for different categories. For the full-time marathon runners, it's 5 a.m. Although we're also going to give them a chance to start at 6 a.m. to choose, because it doesn't matter what time they start, either 5 or 6, as we time them. So
That's
yeah.
quite a complicated process. It's all these different races
Right.
that will be happening, and you've got
Yes.
separate timekeepers
Yes,
for each.
that's right. You see, since this is only the second time that we're doing this and we're working towards a real world-class annual marathon, right? So for this year, we decided that to focus on the event itself, we're not going to buy the transponders and the automatic timers, like with the mats and everything. In international marathons, you see that, but perhaps next year we'll be able to have that, and that will really, change the game. It'll really look like an international marathon. Yeah.
All right, we'll be chatting a little bit more of this as we head into a short break. But Suva Marathon, if you've got queries, do call us up right now, 3220906, 3220907. And we've got the event manager for Suva Marathon 2015, Rona Sekiguchi, to answer your questions right here on Gold FM. Speak Your Mind. Welcome back to Gold FM Speak Your Mind. Running, yes, that's the first thing you think of when you look at me. And here in the studio, Suva Marathon 2015 event manager, well, Rona Sekiguchi. Now, we've talked a little bit about, the different start times, the approach of this year to look towards a more professional marathon next year. Now, this is the build-up. Let's look at how did this actually start? How did the Suva Marathon, at least from last year, after a very long time, it started again, right?
Right. There was a group of very, they call themselves fairly decent runners, who thought that they wanted to promote long distance running and also promote healthy living in Suva. And they thought, we should do a marathon, this event. So that's how it started, because of that idea. And, as I said, they're all just volunteers, and, they just got other volunteers to help them. And this year, actually, we need more volunteers as well. So if you want to volunteer, please let us know. We want everyone to participate. So that's how it started. They got sponsors involved, volunteers involved, and they organized it and they managed it last year. So because of that, this year, working with us, I also wanted to mention our sponsors before I forget, because we're working with amazing sponsors this year. We've got, we ask and they just say yes, we want to be involved. First of all, well, the Suva Marathon is now called the Island Chill Suva Marathon.
Island Chill Super Marathon.
That's right. They actually are going to be our naming rights sponsor for the next 3 years.
Oh, right.
And so, I want to thank the Island Chill, which is Carpenters, Fiji Limited, that's MH, and Nissan and Daltron, as well as MH Money Express. There's the Greenhouse Studio, our official sponsor. Go Advertising is our supporting sponsor. Our associate sponsors, Holiday Inn, the Embassy of the United States. There's Westpac. And then we've got our partners and friends. That's the Fiji Times, Chris Signs, Quality Print, Fulton Hogan Highways, European Union, Talanoa Trek, Spunjas, La Leuvia Resort, Explore Fiji, BSP, Suva Point Apartments, JR White, First Fighter Video and Audio, Roops Big Bear, Suva City Council, the Ministry of Health, Tourism Fiji, FNU, and Uprising.
All right.
Thank you, Fidelity, for
Well-
letting me just mention the sponsors.
It's very important because they help have the event, and
Yes.
this is ensuring, of course, all your different. You've also got prizes for
Yes,
this year.
that's right.
Yeah.
The Carpenters Fiji is giving us over $3,000 worth of vouchers that can be used at MH Daltron and Carpenters Motors, and we've also got the La Leuvia Resort is giving us accommodation for prices, as well as Holiday Inn, and then now there's Uprising, and then we've got Punjas gift packs, we've got smartwatches, and apart from that, we've got medals for all the winners.
All the winners.
Yeah, that's right. So there's a lot of prizes for this year.
There were quite some fancy T-shirts last year, which I got myself a T-shirt, and yes, I'm still working to fit into that T-shirt, but
Well-
because it was made for runners.
Well, Pavelli, you can walk as well. There is no rules. Like we have Francis and Sai who were on wheelchairs last year,
right,
and they
yes.
did it. And so, actually, with Sai, we're working with her. There's some people with disabilities, some of our friends who are blind, for example, who are interested to walk the fun run, and they've asked if we could provide like a volunteer to assist them during the walk, and we said yes, of course. FNU is giving us volunteers. A lot of students have signed up.
So you're still looking for volunteers.
Yes, if
There's a
anyone would
drive.
like to help, there's always a role.
How do they get in touch with
You
volunteering?
can just email us at bula@suvamarathon.org, and check the website because there's a link there to contact us. So that easy.
Now, that's really good to hear that the marathon is all inclusive, and
Yes.
with people living with disabilities.
That's
And
right.
That's exceptionally a great message also for Fiji, that we have an event like a marathon that is all inclusive.
That's why we have different distance categories. And also, if you look at the prices, I mean, not the prices, but the amount at which you can, join in the marathon. For example, if you're under 18 or over 55, it's just $1 to register and participate in the marathon, any category. If you're 18 to 54, any category, whether you're running a full marathon or just doing the fun run, it's $2. So we've got other categories too. The team marathon is $20 for people. Corporate marathon is $50 because they can brand, so that's an extra. And then if you're a Fiji resident but of other citizenship, it's $10. It's still pretty low. For international participants, we have, a much more expensive rate, but that's because they'll be flying in.
That's
Most of
right.
them will be flying in from overseas, and it's still cheap compared to other international
International
marathons. Yeah.
Is there a fair bit of runners that are coming in, the marathoners?
Well, we've got one coming from Italy. We've got someone coming from Japan, a couple from the United States. So it's yes, and then this is just we feel that we still didn't have enough time to really push for the Suva Marathon this year, but we feel like by next year it'll definitely even be bigger.
Well, it's really exciting to hear all the preparations for it. And if it's anything to go by from last year, I'm sure you're going to have a great event. Now, also something that I also wanted to ask, okay, yes, you're building up for a bigger event next year, and you've mentioned some of the equipment that you're hoping to bring
Yeah.
to set it to world-class standards. Now, this is the drive, right? I mean, there is an idea that you wish to put this as one of the races
Yes.
on the major
Right.
competitions.
I mean, it's the Suva. I always say that the Suva Marathon event, it's three things. First, it's about community. It's about getting everyone to be there. We're inviting families to be there. We have family friendly activities, and then we have the runners and the cheers and everyone. It's inviting the companies and sponsors and organizations, which I have to mention as well, charity organizations, charity partners that we're working with. So it's really bringing everyone together. It's about community. And then I mentioned it's about healthy living. And third, it's about putting Suva City on the map. So, that's why we're working with Suva City Council. We also have had talks with the Hibiscus Committee even, because, we wanted to work with them because it's the same idea that they have. The Hibiscus Fair is about, the community. Do we still have time? Can
Yes.
I talk about the charity partners?
Yes, and also you also have the causes that you're also
Right.
supporting.
That's right. So this year, one of the there's about two major things that we've added to the event. First, we wanted to work with charity partners this year so that we can also help promote their own causes. So anyone can run or walk for their cause, and we just facilitating. Like we're promoting them on the website, and we've mentioned them as well. You can contact us so you can get in touch with them if you want to run or walk with. Number one, it's the Vatuira Seascape. They're the campaign, which recently there was something at the
That's right, at the Fiji Museum.
That's right.
The launch of
That's right. So they're one of our charity partners. And then we've got the Children's Heart Foundation as well, right? And then lastly, we've got Nature Fiji. Nature Fiji.
Marigeti Fiji.
Okay, thank you.
Marigeti.
Thank you, Fideli. I always. So those are our three charity partners this year. So next year we'll have three new ones again. So that's the one major addition. Another one is we're going to have a pre-race expo this year. It's on August 7th, so it's the day before the marathon. From 1 to 8 p.m., we're going to have it a Holiday Inn. We invite everyone to pick up their numbers, their bibs, so when they walk the next day or run the next day, and also to enjoy discounted products and items for health and wellness products or fitness products at Holiday Inn.
All right. Well, Rona, thank you so much for joining us once again. Suva Marathon, the website is suvamarathon.org.
That's right.
Exceptional. And good luck for the event.
Thank you.
And there was, no wastage of time there.
Sorry, talk too much.
Well, that's what we're here for. Speak Your Mind. Gold FM Speak Your Mind. We'll be right back right
Thank
after this
you.
short break. Welcome back to Gold FM Speak Your Mind. And we're switching from one event yet to come, the Suva Marathon, to one that we just witnessed and celebrated. And that's the Project Chichimon Fashion Show on Saturday. And of course, it was a fantastic evening of from running with the Suva Marathon to walking now on the catwalk. And I'm joined by, the winners of the Designer of the Year award for Project Chichimon. And that is, S&M, right? Sevi Burese and Andre Marche. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Pedeli. Thank you.
Now, okay, I'm looking and I'm seeing school uniforms. So, first off, you were in school and then you came for this interview, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
legal pass.
You got the passes?
Yeah.
All right. So, obviously, a great support from the school.
Yes, totally.
How long have you two been designing?
Well, we started before we teamed up. We've been in the fashion industry since 2010.
Yeah.
We started
2010.
entering individual shows until we met up at high school and we decided to do a partnership. And from then on, it took us 3 years, and we're still on with the fashion.
Okay, forgive me, I'm old and a stickler for being pinpointing. How old were you in 2010?
Probably in class
8.
Class 8.
Yeah.
And you had already entered designs
Yeah.
in fashion shows.
Yes.
Yeah,
And obviously a lot of support from the family.
a lot.
A lot,
Yeah.
yes. And how did you get into it? Did you, is this, did you open a magazine, saw something, watched on television, or someone came and told you about designing clothes?
Well, I personally, for me, it started when I was a really young boy. I used to love drawing, and even though they were stick figures, like I could see more than just stick figures. I saw, I created this world on a piece of paper. And then over the years, I moved in with my aunt, who is my second mom today, Rosie Simisi. She got me into designing. So she showed me like, oh, this is what fashion is. I've never been to like a fashion show. I never knew what designing was. All I knew was like, oh, drawing. That's, you know, a different world, out of this world. And then I'm like, okay. So I tried a show when I was in class 8, which was the Natotoka Wearable Arts Show, which is also part of Beach Fashion Week. I entered it. That was my first show I ever entered, and I won a prize, a category prize, and then it inspired me to go even further. So it pushed me, it motivated me to go even further, and that's where I found my passion.
Okay. What about for you, Shetty?
For me, it started back in class 7 when I was trying to find my talent. I had this big love for art. I really loved doing artwork. I loved doing sketching, painting, but then somehow I just didn't know where it would take me.
Okay.
So then my cousins and my aunt started pushing me to do fashion and designing. So I started sketching random clothes, and from then on they told me to enter Fashion Week, Fiji Fashion Week. And then I gave it a try, and then I loved it, and then I think it built up from there, and that's where we found our talents.
So somehow you found each other at high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you discovered that this is something that you both like.
Yes.
And when did you start like your first collection together?
It actually was funny because it started off like we weren't really friends.
We were enemies.
We were more like we were more like competitors. We were like, oh, he's a fashion designer. So we were like, oh. And then I think it was in Form 5.
Form 5, and then we
We were in the
decided
same
to
form.
merge our designs, and we had no sponsors, so we had to go out of our own way to fundraise, and our family was always there to support us. We had big fundraising, and that's when we had our first collection, Fierce by S&M.
VS by S&M. And you decided on what's up with the S&M?
S&M is it's a play on the words, Steady and Marcel.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yes.
So you took both parts of your names?
Yeah.
Where did you have your first collection?
We entered it on Fashion Week, Fiji Fashion
Fiji
Week
Fashion
in
Week
2012.
Okay. How did you
Yeah.
fare?
Well,
Yes.
a lot. It was
It was a good experience.
it was a good
Yeah.
experience.
It is a different like a platform altogether for us.
But then it was something big for us, a milestone achieved, as we had done our first fashion show and everyone had loved it, doing it
Yeah.
in partnership.
with so much orders and stuff in the clothes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So how have you been? Have you started making clothes for other people besides just your collections that you show? Have there been orders for clothes?
Not really large amount of mass
Yeah.
orders, but just individual and
Okay.
Like family. And
family and all.
But are you able to make some money to cover some of
Yes,
your
yes,
some of your
definitely,
work?
yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So that's really. I mean, it's great that you're getting this experience, and you're still very young. How old are you right now?
I'm 18.
And I'm 19.
You're still young. They say it like it's old, but it's not. But great achievement. And
Thank you so much for having me.
how did you guys get? Did you always want to? I mean, since the project Chechimon started, we've been trying to get the designers that come in. How did you two get involved with Project Chechimon?
Well, after Fashion Week, we saw the advertisements on TV and we were like, oh, so we sat down and we started talking about it. We were like, so if you're going to enter, who's going to be a sponsor? So we started, and we are so thankful for Vo
Vo,
Dance Company,
yeah.
to Sachiko. We're so thankful for her sponsorship and her investment, because we had just approached her and she was like, yes, I will invest in you too because I believe in you too. And we approached Andy and we just did what we loved and performed our best. Winning was just a bonus. Like we said before the show, winning would just be the bonus. We're just entering the show for experience because we were so used to the student show. So yeah.
We'll come to the actual winnings and the experience of the evening. Going back, you mentioned the student shows. How many did you have a lot of support from school?
Yes.
we had
The
a
school
lot of
was
support.
always there.
They've always been there since
On
the
our
beginning.
second year on our second year participating in Fashion Week, the school sponsored us, the PTFA board,
Really?
and we are really thankful to them.
And what was your collection at that time?
Racism. It was
Racism.
against racism.
So you've always had some interesting themes that you
Yes.
worked with.
Yeah, that's basically how we designed our clothes. We worked on the theme,
Uh-huh.
and then we designed it accordingly.
Okay, so well, we'll come to we've come to a part of the show where we have to take this break. It's getting really interesting, and we'll be chatting again with S&M. Now, the collection Vo that actually won them the Designer of the Year with Project Chechemon for 2015. Welcome back to Gold FM Speak Your Mind, and we're talking about an event that has just been witnessed by Fiji. We'll be watching it on FBC TV this Saturday, and here to join us now, joining the designers of the year, S&M Collection Vol, which won Project Chechemon. It's actually that, well, I'm not going to say queen, but the actual big persona that was behind all the hoopla of Project Chechemon. Welcome to the show, Andy Blake.
Thanks, Pedel. It's nice to actually speak with you again, because I know the last time we used to do breakfast together.
Yes, we did. And, it's been quite a traumatic experience for me.
Yes, that's what he always says.
But nevertheless, the boys were just talking about entering and the opportunity. And once again, the work that they've also, the support that have been given to them coming into the competition and into the actual project. And our support from Vo, hence the collection. So let's talk a little bit about the collection and what did you hope to achieve?
Well, getting sponsorship from Vo was it was really great. We hope to gain a lot of experience, a lot from the show, knowing that Chechemon is international based level, and we wanted to experience what it was like to go against established designers, because we were always entering student shows, so it had limited our experience.
Uh-huh.
And I think that was the main thing that we wanted to achieve, just the experience.
Okay. Now, Andy, with the designers this young, this is great encouragement for them winning Designer of the Year. But was this something that you also wanted to initiate, like encourage a little bit more of younger participants and designers?
Yeah, I think it's important, like for Fiji, because we don't have a fashion industry as much as we would love to. So I think for us to encourage and identify very young talent at the age that Sethi and Anja is really important, because they would be, like, in my opinion, I think they would be sort of like inspiration to other young Fijians that have a passion for fashion, and also they'd be sort of like the platform, so that if anyone else that's watching the success that they have achieved, they can they'll be inspiring others to say that if they can achieve this, we can do it. So I'm very, very excited for the future of Sethi and Andre, and once again, congratulations. They have a very bright future ahead of them.
How do you feel, boys? How do you feel about that, being inspiration to young, upcoming young Fijians?
Feels really great, and now we have to be careful of our movements in
It's not that dangerous to be inspirational. But it's we saw the response. We saw your response. You were absolutely, delight would be putting it lightly, and surprised, but that was, exceptional. As young as you are, coming in and just grabbing the horn, or grabbing the bull by its horn, so to speak, and doing this. Now, what now? What do you hope to achieve now?
We want to take it to another level. We actually want to go compete overseas. We want to gain more experience. We want to open a boutique. We want to start making money. We want to study fashion. We want to take it to another level.
Yeah.
all big things at once. But for now, it's just from 7 exams, and then next year.
I love how he brings the reality in.
And next year it's take over
And
the
next
world.
day it's take over the world.
Exams first, the world after. Now, what has the response been? Immediate response after the win on Saturday.
Firstly, we were lost for words after we
Yeah.
won. We never expected winning, but then I think afterwards, our family was so happy. They never expected it from us because they just thought, oh yeah, fashion designers, yeah, he's going to show. But then after we told them we won, they were over the moon, and they're like, wow, you two really proved the point. That's what we were really after all along. And our schoolmates, they were really happy. They were always supportive, and they said they will always be there. And yes, the response has been really great.
Now, what are you looking at with your designs? I'm just wondering, how do you put your designs together? And do you identify a model, or how you want to put a piece together for your dresses or for your outfits? How do you get that idea?
For the show on Saturday, how we put together our clothes was
It's based on the categories.
Based on the category.
for recycle and
Yeah.
fantasy. We had to think. For menswear, it was basically about dance and culture, how they fusion
Fuse.
culture into dance, into the art of dance. So that was really taken care of. But for recycle, it was more of issues that teenagers
Teenagers
face
face.
in society.
Yeah.
For example, if you saw Heather Marama's Angel of Death, she wore a swimsuit with twigs stuck in it and a wings
wooden.
Yes.
made of wooden
It-
branches.
It looked like a very creative Victoria's Secret
Yeah.
Yeah.
wings.
That was actually to signify suicide in Fiji because a lot of youths, a lot of teenagers, they go through
Depression. and they suffer
depression
a lot
and
of-
due to these kind of things, like most people don't really like fashion industry, don't really like fashion and the way that it's going. Like for some like models, family members ban you from modeling and like some take to the extent where they're so depressed they kill themselves and they think that's the only way. Yeah? So that's what we had to reflect in our Angel of Death outfit. And the Runaway Bride.
Basically, the Runaway Bride was about fixed marriages and it wasn't just about marriages. It was about teenagers making the right choice in life, making a choice for themselves, something that's best suitable for them, not what others think or what their parents think should be for them. It was based on their own decisions, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that's gonna take them throughout the next few years of their life.
All right. Now you've got the prize. Well, we what are you hoping? Like now that you're going to get this prize, what is your first? What you're going to do with your prize money?
Well, we're gonna buy
Share it
everyone
equally,
coffee.
right?
Yeah.
For prize money, we might start up another collection.
Planning on
We'll
investing on
we'll
another
keep
collection.
the momentum going until next day. We'll enter Judgment. We'll hopefully win again.
Yeah, get more money and then buy more coffee.
Now, Andy, with the winners and all those who potentially would like to enter for next year's coming event, what kind of support do you provide? And what are you hoping? What kind of a platform can you provide for them?
With the designers that have won this year, and also for the models that have won, what we've done is we, as an organization, the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation, we're going to incubate their career. So right now we're in talks with some of the stakeholders overseas in the international fashion industry, where we're hoping to take these two very bright and talented gentlemen and showcase their work overseas, and that as well with our Model of the Year.
All right. Well, boys, congratulations again.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Billy.
And the name to watch out for?
Yes.
S&M.
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 All right, congratulations again.
Thank you,
again,
Billy.
Billy.
We'll continue with, talking about Project Chichimon. We've got that beautiful face that everyone recognizes, but you get to see and hear from her very shortly, right after this short break. Welcome back to Gold FM Speak Your Mind. And, we continue to talk about, Project Chichimon, the fashion show that we just witnessed on Saturday. And here is the Model of the Year 2015. A face that many recognize, but have little is known of her, I think. Marie Fall, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, I'm going to have to ask, where are you from?
Well, that is a question I have to face every day. Random people walk up to me and just say, "You're not Fijian." And I turn around and I say, "I am. Who said?" So I'm from the United States. I was born there. I have an African father and a Fijian mother. So I have maternal links in the island of Kandavu. I speak fluent Fijian, and I do speak the Kandavu dialect, so just count me as a Fijian.
You are Fijian. Now, but you have such a beautiful smile. And you know, your features are made for these magazine covers. And Andy Blake had pointed it out to me a long time ago, too. And I remember looking at you and thinking, you know, you're just beautiful. Now, I mean, like, okay, how did you get into the industry?
Industry. My mother, she always signs me up for random things. So she told me that she wanted me to model. And I told her that's something that I wasn't interested in. I'm not the makeup girl, the diva with all that style. I'm a really simple person. And so she forced me, actually. She dragged me from school and took me to auditions for Fiji Fashion Week, and that's where I started.
That's where you started. How old were you when you started modeling?
17,
How old are you now?
18.
That's
One
that's,
year.
that's a long time in model life, right? But with all this, have you started to enjoy it at least?
Yes,
Yeah?
I have. I realized that it's a place where I could feel normal, just be me. I didn't have to try to impress others, because on the runway, it's just me, the clothes I'm wearing, and how well I'm able to market it, how I'm able to express myself on the catwalk, and yeah.
Now, you, Andy, you start with Project Chechimon this year. You identified Marie and a couple of other girls as the
Fab
featured
Six.
Fab Six.
That's right.
Now, that concept, well, where is that from? And
Well, you know, like back in the 90s, we used to have what we used to term the Fijian supermodels, the likes of Sandhya Nand and Marlene Buniwanga, Grace Bunimasi. And there hasn't been a replacement because these beautiful women from the 90s sort of haven't been formally retired, if you say, in the fashion industry. So I felt that it was time to identify 6 beautiful women that have showcased so much class and beauty and, you know, project them as the new crop of supermodels for Fiji. So then I saw these girls. They've always been modeling at Fiji Fashion Week and Style Fiji, and approached them individually and said, "Hey, look, this is what I want to do. If you're interested, this is a great platform." So the idea of the Fab Six was birthed, and along came our model of the year, Marie Fall, and now she's going to New Zealand to, for the start of what would be a potential international modeling career.
now, Marie, how do you feel about that, being labeled a supermodel?
Well, it's kind of overwhelming. It's a lot to take in. So I'm enjoying that at
Okay.
the moment.
I want to ask you this. What had you initially, before the whole modeling, what did you have, did you think of that you'd become? Or did you aspire to be?
I wanted to be a businesswoman. I wanted to work for the World Bank one day.
Okay.
So I most have thought of myself sitting at a desk with computers and dealing with figures all day.
So you've completed a high school?
Yes.
Yeah? How long ago was that?
Last year.
Well, now that you're working, I mean, how has that been faring for you? I mean, you have to be a little bit of a kind of a businesswoman now. You have a career in the modeling here industry in Fiji, and also you have a job to keep, right? And how do you feel? How does that, having to keep a full-time job and managing these modeling stints?
It's really hard in terms of keeping in shape. I guess it's a challenge for me, and I like taking up challenges. I want to test how well I can handle things, because this is the reality. You have to get a job. You have to support yourself. You can't really depend on people nowadays. And so I'm still trying to see how things are going to end up, since it's at a really early stage now.
Now, this trip to New Zealand, hopefully one that will launch your career internationally. And what are your feelings? What are your hopes?
Well, I want to see Wellington.
That's a great start.
I wanna get to meet people and see what they expect internationally. If I have what it takes, I would be glad to start a new career, something that I never dreamt of or expected. But yeah, at the moment I'm excited about everything.
A little bit overwhelming at this time, as you said.
Yes.
But how has your family taken it? How's your mom?
My mom wasn't here for the award when the award was given to me. She was at home, so when I walked in with my flowers and certificate, she looked up and she said, "What's that?" I gave it to her. I didn't say anything because I already had a funeral session myself here. She looked at the certificate and then looked up at me, and she was crying herself. So she was really proud, and she couldn't really speak what she was feeling.
Well, Marie, congratulations. Yeah. And we wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
And good luck to you as you head forth to New Zealand. It's still overwhelming for you. Now, Andy, now we're just about to wrap up the show. What are your final? What do you think? What are we supposed to look forward to now for Project Chechimon come 2016?
Well, we've got a bigger event planned for next year, and I know that Marie will go off and do some fabulous things and fly the Fiji flag in the international industry. Second model next to Philippa Steele, and I'm excited for the future of Fiji's fashion industry. And I think we have a great platform that was created by FBC that's supporting and nurturing our fashion industry.
All right. Congratulations again to you
Thanks,
both.
Fideli.
And Project Chechimon, the fashion show this Saturday on FBC TV. And that also wraps up our day with the fashionistas right here on Gold FM Speak Your Mind.